Good morning and welcome to Developing Stories. Kunle Ariyo is my name. Nigerians are increasingly speaking out against the federal government's plan to introduce a 5% surcharge on petroleum products set to take effect in January 2026. With inflation already soaring, many Nigerians fear this proposed tax will further drive up transportation, food, and electricity costs, increasing the economic hardship caused by earlier reforms. Joy Pius has details.
The federal government recently announced plans to impose a 5% surcharge on refined petroleum products effective January 2026. The policy aligns with efforts to boost non-oil revenue amid rising public debt and the cost of maintaining subsidies. However, following the removal of fuel subsidies, this new tax has sparked widespread opposition from consumers, marketers, and stakeholders who warn it will lead to higher pump prices. Many argue that an additional tax at a time when Nigerians are already struggling with transport costs will deepen economic hardship and inflate living expenses.
Coming with a tax next year, we put additional problem to people. And since the increment on fuel, we have been having crisis, challenges on transportation. And coming up with tax again next year will be on fuel, will be additional problem.
Why is it that policies that government come up with, especially on this particular monolithic product that we have, which is from crude oil to all its products, and then petroleum products especially, always have been having issues with government and the people? The last of it was the removal of fuel subsidy, and then the money that has accrued from that removal, the government has promised that yes, it will show up revenue, but far from it as it is right now. We found out that exactly nothing has happened from the gains of that fuel subsidy removal. However, I want to see that it's even a policy somersault at this moment from the government to think that 5% tax increase must go again on petroleum products at this time when the measure of GDP to per capita income to the standard of living and inflation is staring Nigerians in the face.
Critics are urging the government to reconsider the levy and redirect revenue towards improving education, healthcare, and poverty alleviation programs.
To me, I think they should suspend that and do something that will help the masses.
The naira, and then the value of the currency, the purchasing power, the standard of living, inflation, the GDP, economic growth, and all other things, and even the hike in prices of foodstuffs is there. So once this happens again, you can imagine it's going to skyrocket. So let the government consider that even if at all they are going to initiate such a policy, there must be safety nets. Then they must make sure that there's a way to buffer, there's a way to alleviate, such and assuage the people in such policies that they make. Health is going to be a tough time and a tougher time for an average Nigeria come from 1st of January 2026. Let the government suspend this. Let there be a wholesale analysis. Let the people be called before such decisions are made by the government.
The federal government, however, has clarified that no final implementation date has been set. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
The Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAMB, says parents account for 80% of fraudulent practices recorded in the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination. Chairman of JAMB Special Committee on Examination Infractions, Jack Epele, made the revelation, saying parents, tutorial centers, schools, and some computer-based test operators were complicit in undermining the integrity of the examination. Epele said 80% of the infractions are caused by parents who want to give marks they do not deserve to their children. He disclosed that the committee uncovered 190 instances of artificial intelligence assisted impersonation through image morphing. He added that 1,878 false disability claims, forged credentials, multiple national identification number registrations, and collusion between candidates and syndicates were also uncovered. He warned that the rise of technology-enabled malpractices is creating fresh challenges and stressed the need for homegrown solutions to address the menace. The Senate has formally rejected the senator representing Kogi Central, Natasha Poti-Duahan's plan to resume legislative duties. The Red Chamber said her 6 months suspension remains in force pending the outcome of a Court of Appeal case instituted against the Senate by Poti-Duahan. In a statement by the Clerk of National Assembly, Yahaya Dazaria, the Senate acknowledged Poti-Duahan's notification of her intended return on September 4, 2025, the date she claimed marked the end of her suspension. However, the Senate clarified that her suspension took effect on March 6, 2025, and emphasized that the matter is still in litigation. The Senate insists that no administrative action can be taken until the Court of Appeal delivers a verdict, and that it would only review her suspension after the court's pronouncement. Reports say there is heavy gridlock on the third mainland bridge as protesting residents of Osrc, Kosofel local government area of Lagos State, for the second day blocked a lane of the demolition of houses in the area by the state government. The demonstration has left thousands of commuters stranded, forcing motorists to divert to alternative routes into the mainland. Residents in large numbers accused the state government of demolishing their houses without adequate notice or compensation, alleging that many families had been rendered homeless. The demolition, carried out by a combined enforcement team of the state government, targeted what officials described illegal structures along the Lekki and Yano Osrc coastal lines. Lagos State Police Command, in a statement by the Deputy Police Public Relations Officer Babasayi Olusheyi, confirmed that normalcy is being restored on the bridge. And to the foreign scene, Nepal has lifted its social media ban, which sparked protests and led to clashes with police that left at least 19 people dead and injured more than 100 others. The ban on 26 social media platforms, including Facebook and YouTube, elicited protests with thousands of young people storming parliament and the capital, Kathmandu. Several districts are now under a curfew. The government said it lifted the ban after an emergency meeting. And to sport now, Tunisia have qualified for the 2026 FIFA World Cup after scoring a dramatic stoppage time winner away against Equatorial Guinea. The North Africans came under pressure for most of the game in Malabo, with hosts needing victory themselves to keep alive their own hopes of reaching the finals. Tunisia had goalkeeper Amen Damen to thank for the string of saves in the second half as he kept out effort from Sol Koko, Emilio Nzo and Alejandro Masogo, with Equatorial Guinea pushing forward in search of a goal. The Carthage Eagles won the match from a counter-attack in the last of 4 added minutes. Tunisia are assured of top spot in Group H with 2 games to spare, reaching Canada, Mexico and United States without conceding a goal in their 8 qualifiers to date. And that's it on Developing Stories. Good morning.